In this video, it is one set of 4 to 5 tons per hour, complete with log pellet production line. The client's raw material are wood logs with 50% moisture. This is the first process, wood log grinding process. The buyer use a wood chipper, PC1300, -600-160 kilowatt to grind 30 mm diameter wood logs into 35 mm to 45 mm wood chips. This wood chips inlet is 1.3 meters, with chain belt conveyor and galvanized outlet belt conveyor. Its capacity is 10 to 15 tons per hour. The second process is the wood chips crushing process, which can crush the 35 mm to 45 mm wood chips into 10 mm to 14 mm sawdust. The finished output sawdust size can be adjustable from 4 to 16 mm by changing the screeners inside the hammer mill. This clients use our dual shaft hammer mill with double 110 kilowatt, total 220 kilowatt power, with capacity 6 to 8 tons per hour. Tony dual shaft hammer mill has 2 rotors with 2 shafts inside, which has higher crushing efficiency compared with single shaft hammer mill. This hammer mill has total 196 pieces of knives inside, with double 1.3 meters diameter cyclone and 180 hose galvanized dust collector, which can effectively reduce the dust from the hammer mill discharge port. Fan blower use special raw material transportation fan blower, developed and designed by Tony Company, which can effectively improve the amount of sawdust conveying and avoids the damage of fan blades inside. After the hammer mill, the buyer weld a sawdust storage bin to buffer the sawdust coming out of the hammer mill, which will be feeding into the next process, drying process. The third process is drying process, to dry the 10 mm to 14 mm with sawdust from 50% to 10% minus 15%. This client uses one set of Tony rotary drum dryer with hot stove, which uses wood waste as fuel. Hot stove is built locally by the buyer himself from fire brick pan and has plate frame. It has 3 layers of fire resistance inside to prevent marks into dryer. Tony rotary drum dryer adopts frequency conversion speed regulation. Speed can be adjusted according to humidity of raw materials in order to ensure the output capacity. Tony also have double-layer rotary drum dryer and 3-layer rotary drum dryer. We can also supply the rotary drum dryer for the capacity from 1 ton to 50 tons per hour, which is well received by domestic and foreign customers' praise. The fourth process is storage process. In order to avoid the dust that come out of the rotary drum dryer, the buyer added 60 meters hydraulic silo after the rotary drum dryer to store the dried sawdust. When the galvanized hydraulic storage bin works, the cylinder tries the pull rod to do the reciprocating movement. The cylinder retracts to push the pull rod above the wing to push the sawdust to the direction of discharge movement. The cylinder is extended to push the pull rod back. The sawdust is blocked by the fixed wing, so the reciprocating action sawdust is sent step by step to the discharge port position. The fourth process is pelletizing process, cooling process and packing process. Under the storage hydraulic bin, it has 2 screw conveyors to transport the sawdust into the set pellet machine. The customer added a rocking shaker after the pellet machine to sift out the mixed sawdust in the finished pellet. After that, the finished pellets are transported into a 80-meter simple cooler that is built and welded by the buyer locally. Under the simple cooler, there is a small pellets packing machine, which can pack the pellets from 15 to 50 kilograms per bags. This client uses 2 sets of Tony brand 132 kilowatt pellet machine with capacity to 2.5 tons per hour and total capacity for 5 tons per hour. Tony pellet machine adopts Huixing brand Tony custom model to increase the heavy-duty gearboxes engraved with Huixing brand and Tony custom logo. Compared with the ordinary Huixing model, the internal gear is enlarged and thickened, and the gear shaft is strengthened and thickened, which is more durable and stable. Tony new generation pellet machine uses under position stripping system 30 for stainless type. The feeding port, discharge shell, discharge port, dust collection cover, lifting knife and internal cutting knife are made of 30 for stainless steel to avoid steam corrosion and rust during the formation of pellets. In this way, it can increase the durability of the pellet machine. Tony rotary support is installed under the discharge housing. To avoid the traditional return support is easy to be corroded by steam at the top. The internal steel ball is easy to rust corrosion shortcomings. Gear reducer is installed under the discharge housing, with stronger power which is not easy to damage. Tony new generation pellet machine adopts the large and heavy type. It can be widely used for all kinds of biomass raw materials and well received by domestic and foreign customers. Praise.